NHK World.
Tokyo Eye.
Welcome to Tokyo Eye. Hello, I'm Chris Butler. Each week we feature the fun, fascinating facets of Tokyo that make this city so alluring. And here's what we have lined up for you today. Tokyo River Cruise. Hop aboard a boat and relax. More than just a new take on the big city, a cruise can teach you about the environment too. My Private Tokyo. Each time a foreign resident shares favorite locations and things to do. This time, Kagurazaka. Autumn tastes great in Japan. We go on a mission to seek out some of the best of Tokyo's seasonal cuisine. And in the studio, we're joined by Susan and Emma. How are you two doing today?
Oh, great. Thanks, Chris.
Now, first we go with Susan. You went on a river cruise.
I did. As you know, there's several rivers in Tokyo, and some of them are man-made. Some of them were created during the Edo period to support river trade. Some of their natural flows were redirected, like the Kanda River. But let me show you where I went. Okay. So we've got the Kanda River coming right this way. The tour that I took started here, where the Nihonbashi River and the Kanda River meet. So we went down the Nihonbashi River, coming out at the very big Sumida River, went up a bit, then back into the mouth of the Kanda River, went along there, and ended up at the same place we started.
I see. And how long does this take you?
That took about 2 hours, and I learned a lot of things along the way. This is the Nihonbashi River. It runs about 5 kilometers through the heart of Tokyo, and it's also where we'll be starting our tour today. Along the river are landings for boats and barges. They can be used to support relief efforts at a time of disaster, but tour boats use these landings too. This is an eco-friendly electric boat that runs on rechargeable batteries. It doesn't emit any exhaust. These tours are run by a local environmental NPO dedicated to preserving Tokyo's aquatic habitats. Its members serve as guides. The boat travels at a leisurely 10 kilometers per hour, and it's almost soundless. Very quiet. This boat is run entirely on electricity, so it's got that kind of nice, relaxing, calm feel to it. Running above the Nihonbashi River is the Tokyo Metropolitan Expressway. When the expressway was built, a river route was the easiest way to secure space. But in the dim light below, the water looks murky and dirty.
この水、透明度どれぐらいだと思いますか
20センチ
20センチ
But if you take a sample...
よいしょ
Oh! 思ったより綺麗です It's really clear. It has a clarity of about 2 meters on average. This stretch of river was improved in the Edo period for transporting goods. But now, roughly 90% of the water is domestic wastewater, released into the river after some very thorough treatment. That's why the water is as clear as it is.
はい、右をご覧ください。江戸城の石垣が見えてきます。これが石垣です。この石垣はですね、幕府に言われて各大名、たくさんの大名、その大名家がみんな命ぜられてここに石を運んできなさいってやられる。みんな手で運んでるわけです。
すごいですね。Look closely and you can see marks on the stones. These marks identify the lords who sent the rocks, proof of their contribution to this giant construction project. The Nihonbashi River runs for 5 kilometers under 24 bridges. You get a very different view of Tokyo from this angle, and that makes the tour fun.
Next bridge. That was a very famous bridge in Japan, Tokyo.
Is
Its name is Nihonbashi.
Nihonbashi? That's Nihonbashi. Nihonbashi was the starting point of the major route that joined Edo with Kyoto and other parts of Japan. The first bridge was built here in the 17th century.
Excited するでしょ?
Yeah, wow. Nihonbashi once bustled with traders and artisans from all over Japan. The river was a busy trade artery. These days, the means of transport are very different, but Nihonbashi is still at the heart of Japan's business world, drawing people, goods, and money. We've reached the downstream end of the Nihonbashi River. Next, a bigger river.
はい、まもなく隅田川に出ます。左側が上流、右側が海の方です。
The Sumida River is one of Tokyo's best-known rivers. It feels enormous compared with the Nihonbashi River. The Sumida River is a famous waterfront tourist spot. It flows through Asakusa and other downtown districts before emptying into Tokyo Bay. In a Mina-friendly day. All sorts of tourist vessels ply its waters. After visiting Asakusa, lots of tourists take river rides to Odaiba and other popular spots. Rocked by the wake of the faster boats, we continue our leisurely journey to the last river.
これが神田川の河口です。今からこれ
神田川ですか？
はい、神田川です。これから上がってきます。
Last stop, the Kanda River. About 25 kilometers long, this river is known to all Tokyoites. Docked at its mouth are lots of yakatabune, party boats. Tokyoites have long used these boats to party as they float on the river. Another somewhat strange-looking boat has come into view. The people on board pick up waste. It has a conveyor belt in its center that whisks up rubbish and keeps the river clean. The Kanda River was once badly polluted. In the period of rapid economic growth in the 1960s and 70s, all sorts of contaminated water poured into the Kanda River. At the time, it was Japan's second most polluted river. People didn't want to go near it.
どんどん汚い水が流れ込むと臭くなる。臭くなるからみんな嫌がる。そうするとどうなるかというと、このビルのように窓がなくなっちゃう。
ああ、そうね。Makes sense. Now that the river is clean again, people come to enjoy it. Cafes are springing up along its banks. This tug is hauling a barge full of domestic waste. Each barge carries 20 truckloads of waste to a treatment plant in Tokyo Bay. It's an efficient and eco-friendly way to transport waste. Another famous Tokyo spot, Ochanomizu Station. It's one of the highlights of the river tour. This is the first time I've ever seen Ochanomizu Station from below. Once past Ochanomizu Station, we enter the most attractive stretch of river so far. This is beautiful. この辺は。
とても綺麗です。
緑よくて。
昔はね、遊歩道で歩けたんですが、今は閉鎖しちゃって人が来れない。そのために野鳥がたくさん住んでる。 すごいね、朝とかね、その野鳥のさえずり声が聞こえてね、とてもいいところです。
Here you get all of the nice greenery, trees and flowers. Really gives you the nice feeling of a river cruise. The cruise lasted about 2 hours. The last thing we saw was one of those barges being filled with waste.
You know, it's always refreshing to see nature and a little bit of wildlife in the middle of a big city. But this is an eco tour.
That's right. Not just a fun river cruise, you know. I mean, a lot of people have probably been on some of those tourist boats that go down the Sumida River. But exactly. But I had no idea that you could take a tour down the Kanda River and the Nihonbashi River. But yeah, definitely was an eco tour. Very interesting, very enlightening. The guide pointed out some things like little pools of cooking oil accumulating in the river, and that really gave me some food for thought. You know, I went home and I took a long, hard look at my kitchen and how much waste that my family produces.
Right. Yeah. Now, the water seemed very clear, as we saw in the video, but from above it looks kind of murky and dark and green. Where's that color come from?
Well, that's from the algae that's in the water.
Okay, so it's not pollution or anything like that.
No. I mean, I thought that too when I would look down from the bridge from Nihonbashi. I used to think it was quite dirty, but yeah, I was surprised to see how clean it was. Now, of course, it's still got a long way to go. They're making efforts to clean it up, but the ecosystem still isn't quite in balance yet.
Right. Now, during the 60s, early 70s, I guess, during the height of the growth period of Japan, I guess there's a lot of pollution going on. Tokyo Bay was actually very, very polluted, but right now it's very, very clean. You can just get fish from the Tokyo Bay, and it's called edomae sushi.
Right.
Sushi, so all the fish that we eat, it's provided from the Tokyo Bay. So I guess the water system is very clean right now.
Yeah, it's really good to hear. Thanks to the efforts of all of those volunteer organizations. I know there's some projects going on at universities and in the government as well. People are really trying hard to clean things up.
Okay. Thank you, Susan.